Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Evelyn of Pink Sheep Design, and today we are going to be reviewing some new yarn. This is not technically new yarn. It is not even really new to me, but it is a new yarn that I'm going to be reviewing. So I have not reviewed this before. I've used it a lot already, so it's kind of surprising I haven't put a review up about it yet, but this is what we are looking at today. This is Premier's Premier Home Cotton XL. It is a jumbo 7-weight yarn. And although I'm sure the majority of people that use yarn like this are going to use it for bags and baskets and home decor, if you guys have been following me for a while, my big thing is wearable garments. So I wanted to show you guys a few of the items I've already made with this yarn that are wearable items. So you guys may notice the shirt that I'm wearing right now. This is my low tide tee. So this is a chunky t-shirt. Now for this one, I used 3 strands of Lily Sugar and Cream cotton. That is a worsted weight cotton held triple, but I did make a version. This is my low tide tee using the Premier Home Cotton XL, and I absolutely love it. Obviously it is heavier than the one I'm wearing now, but fantastic yarn in my opinion if you like the chunkier items. I really enjoyed making this one. Now I will show you guys 2 more things that I made using this cotton. This is my Gilly Penny dress crochet pattern. So this is actually a jumper. I have got the cinch at the waist, and the ties come up and over the shoulder, and they actually tie into these front holes right here. So this dress is also a pattern that is available in my Etsy shop, the Gilly Penny crochet dress pattern. All of my patterns are size inclusive too, by the way, so you can check that one out. And then last but not least, I have my Angelica jacket made using the Premier Home Cotton XL. This, I added a zipper to this one. It's got the nice ribbing on the bottom, but this is a collared zippered jacket that's got the nice ribbing detail on the bottom and on the sleeves. Also made using Premier Home Cotton XL. So we are going to dive right in. I'm going to show you guys some swatches. We'll talk about the details about this yarn, and I'll give you guys some more of my opinions on it. All right, so these are some of the colors that I have this yarn in. They do have quite a few colors available on their website. I don't know if this is going to be a staple yarn for Premier. It has been available now for more than 2 years, so I'm kind of hoping they keep it around. This is also one of their recycled yarns, which is really nice that they've got that sustainability factor. Here are the details. You get 82 yards, right, or 75 meters. It is a heavier cotton, so you've got 10.5 ounces or 300 grams for this skein of yarn. Let's see, 85% recycled cotton, 15% polyester. Again, jumbo size 7. It does recommend a 15 millimeter crochet hook, so that is what we're going to be swatching with today. Okay, so I do have my little mini cake that I'm going to use for this one. If you look up close, this is a chainette structure, right? So it is chained here. It does not have any fill. It is not a tubular yarn. It is just the chained structure. For me, I haven't had any issues with the chain coming undone. I am able to usually just knot this on itself. Now you can kind of pull this apart and knot it to itself. So if you pull these 2 pieces apart, you can usually make enough to create a knot if you're weaving in your ends. But I haven't had any issues with it. It's been very easy to use. And we are going to swatch with a 15 millimeter hook. So let's see. I can move my camera a little bit, and I apologize if the video is a little shaky. I'm hoping it is acting like it should. All right, so this is one of our 3D printed ergonomic crochet hooks. This is a size 15, so we are good to go there. And I'm going to start with my slip knot, and we'll just do a couple of rows. We'll do single crochet and half double crochet for sure, so that you can see how this works up, especially using the recommended hook size of 15 millimeter. Now you can see already it's not giving me any trouble. This is not going to be splitty, you know, because it is the chain structure. Now every now and then I might snag one of the pieces from the chain, but overall this has been a really easy yarn to work with. I enjoy working with this yarn. So we're going to work back across the chain with single crochet first. Now I do believe that you could, if you wanted, size down a couple of sizes if you wanted to have a more dense fabric created with your crocheting with this yarn. The 15 millimeter, for me, it's kind of right in the middle. It's not a small enough hook. Now I crochet rather tightly. So for me, it's not a large enough hook to give the flowiness that you really need for a wearable, but it's also not small enough to give you the denseness that you'd want for like a bag or a basket. So that's why it's kind of middle of the road. I'm not 100% sure what I would use the 15 millimeter hook for this. Now I will say, I believe I did use a 15 millimeter hook for my Gilly Penny dress. So I showed you guys this dress earlier. You can see the stitching on this one is similar. So I do think that I used either a 15 or a 16 millimeter hook for that dress. But that dress isn't supposed to be flowy. It's more of a bodycon fitted style. I moved up to about I believe an 18 millimeter hook to make my low tide tee and my Angelica jacket. And that gave a little more flowiness to the fabric. The holes were a little further apart, but I felt like that gave it a little more flow. This might work up well for maybe like a pillow cover, or maybe a like a rug, maybe with the 15 millimeter. That might be kind of nice. So let's do some half double crochets while we're here so you guys can see how that works up. And then I am going to frog it so that you guys can see how that looks when you frog it. I have not had any issues frogging this and it causing any issues with the yarn. I know sometimes yarn, there are certain types of yarn that when you go to frog it, it can negatively affect the functionality and structure of the yarn, but I haven't seen that with this, luckily. It's an easy one where if you have to frog a project back, you're not going to ruin your yarn. All right, so that is 2 rows of single crochet, and the top row is half double. This is with a 15 millimeter hook. Again, I tend to crochet rather tightly, so you might see these same results if you crochet more on the loose side, if you size down to closer to like a 12 or 13 millimeter hook versus a 15. So let's go ahead and frog this back, and I'm going to show you guys, show you guys what this would look like with an 18 millimeter hook. So I'm going to size up just a little bit. And as you guys can see, no issues with frogging this yarn. You know, at least for me, I haven't had any problems with that. And I've definitely had to frog it a few times. So, all right, let's switch to an 18 millimeter hook. Again, this is one of our 3D printed ergonomic crochet hooks. You can find these in our shop. If you love working with jumbo yarn, these are a fantastic option to help deal with the hand and wrist pain that comes along sometimes with working with these more jumbo sized yarns. This is our 18 millimeter hook. They're all stamped on the bottom for you in the millimeter size. And we are going to do the same thing that we just did with the 15 with our 18 millimeter hook, so you guys can see the difference here. Now again, I have found this yarn surprisingly, you know, I bought this yarn
I think 2 years ago, the first time, and I had no idea what I was going to make with it, but I knew, you know, jumbo cotton, heck yes, right up my alley. I've got to try to make something with this. And it took me over a year before I actually made anything using this yarn. I don't know if I was just intimidated. I didn't know, you know, how it was going to work up, what I wanted to make with it. And the first thing that I made with it was actually the Angelica jacket. And it has become one of my favorite structured springtime jackets. I just think it looks so cool and structured with this cotton, while still having a pretty nice flowy and airiness to it, because a lot of that is because the holes are a little bit larger. You have some space to breathe, and it looks nice on. The Angelica jacket was actually designed to use, to make with t-shirt yarn, but that creates a very structured, tailored style jacket, whereas this cotton tends to give it a little bit of a more looser feel while still being a structured jacket. So really, really happy with it now. This, again, I think I'm working on my third item, or my fourth item now with this yarn, and I just really, really hope that it is a yarn that they plan to keep in stock, because I want to keep using it. I want to get more colors and continue to create some really cool things with this. I believe my next project is probably going to be a bag using this yarn. This would be really, really great for my simple bucket backpack pattern. So if you guys have tried that one out, or if you haven't, this would be a really, really great option for that one to create a nice simple drawstring bucket backpack. All right, so as you guys can see, the holes are definitely larger, but it has a little bit more flow to the fabric that is created when you're using the 18mm hook. Again, that is what I used for my, let me grab my jacket. This is what I used for my Angelica jackets. You guys can see that structure here on that jacket. But thoughts on this yarn, like I said, I really, really like this yarn. It's really soft. I mean, for being a chunky cotton, to me, it's a nice feel on my skin. It's not rough. I believe it is wash and wear. Yes, so you can machine wash warm, tumble dry, low heat. I have not washed this yet, so I cannot give you my opinion on how this yarn actually washes. But like I said, I'm a big fan of the fact that this is one of their more sustainable options from Premier. I hope you found this review helpful. If you have requests for me to review yarn, obviously my main focus is chunky and super chunky and jumbo size yarns, weight yarns. So if you have recommendations, you can always leave me a comment here. And if you don't want to miss out on future tutorials or yarn reviews or any of those fun yarny shenanigans, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Happy hooking!